Hello, I wanted to give folks an overview of the Taproot Volunteer platform. So I'm just going to give an example of how it could be used, and our new volunteer coordinator, Raja, is going to help coordinate getting you volunteers if you need them. So just bear with me while I give you a quick intro. See if I can share my screen here, that would help. Okay, so when you go to Taproot, it will ask you to log in, and Raja will have the ability to log in with our credentials so that we are able to share the Regenerative Farms Taproot platform with our project partners to get volunteers for professional short-term volunteer support. So you can take a look at all of the different options they have on the left-hand side of the screen here. And to get yourself started, they have webinars and trainings on how to use the platform and how to take best advantage of it. You go over here to categories and you click nonprofit, can show you different webinars of ways that this can be used. Developing sustainable fundraising infrastructure, expanding your reach, using volunteers to help get your nonprofit actions around social media, website, newsletters, even internal HR, human resources kinds of documents. You can get designers to help you create PowerPoint pitch decks or funder brochures made nicely using a publishing software. All kinds of different ways that these volunteers can get engaged and really expand your nonprofit's ability to do the work that you want to do. So I encourage you to schedule some time with Raja, take a look at some of those different webinars, and then actually post a job advertisement for a short-term position or for a 1-hour consultation. Those tend to get volunteers pretty quickly to them. And I've found them very useful for just overall strategy or ideas or feedback on my website on different marketing approaches, even the storytelling about our impact together. So over here on the left, you could click Pro Bono menu. First, you can learn how Tapwork Plus works, or you can request volunteers. So this could be one example where you create a project, and we'll do that now. And it asks you, how can this volunteer help build your capacity? So they have some pre-scheduled templates for projects. So you could pick from something like optimizing a Google Ad grants, helping you develop your mission and vision statement, getting an employee handbook developed, doing an audit of your website to give you recommendations on how to make it better, recruitment strategy, brand style guide development. I used that and got help as I was developing the logo and the different fonts and colors for our website. That was helpful. Graphic design can help you develop your annual impact report. There's others that can help with grant proposal review, setting up accounting systems, social media content, all kinds of things. So what I want to do is get some help with see what they have in here. I'm looking for help doing the design work on a pitch deck. So I'm gonna just make up my own title. All right. So a graphic designer needed to help finalize a pitch deck. This is for one of our project partners. And I have to select the category. I'm just going to put brand development in there because we're really looking for someone to help with the design. We've got the content. We've used some other tools and resources on strategy to develop the deck, but now we just want to get the design finalized. So this is where we just put in very short description of the project task. It needs to be something that will be, using a volunteer between 2 to 5 hours per week for just 3 to 4 weeks. That's kind of the parameters, the maximum you can request time from this platform from one volunteer. But you can use sometimes successive volunteers to move a project along. So I'm writing for the goal of the project is to finalize a polished design for a nonprofit pitch deck to attract project funding. And then they want to know that you've done your homework ahead of time to be ready when that volunteer starts to just jump in and do what they're technically expert at so that your project can move along quickly. So you really need to consider this as if it was a paid consultancy and these people are, working at an hourly rate for you. So you want to set them up to be able to do that efficiently and using their skills to the best and highest use for their time, and you do the rest of the project backstopping. So for this project, let's see, I'm just going to say, so we've already consulted on deck strategy and got guidance to craft our pitch slide by slide. We did that work. We have it in Canva. And now we need now is to get some help to design the look and polish it off so we can share it with our potential funders. And if you have trouble figuring out what to put into these text blocks, you could always use ChatGPT and just ask it to give you, a 35-word description or just copy and paste exactly what it says here in this into ChatGPT and ask it to give you some ideas on what to write in here. So our project partner has shaped up some language to use in this. How is this project going to support our organization's mission? So what I'm doing now is just kind of translating that into a shorter piece that ties the hub partners work into the mission of regenerative farms. but it also needs to be interesting enough to get potential volunteers to pick your project out of a whole slew of advertisements that will be on this site. So it's often good to just kind of talk a little bit about how those volunteers will be really helping the people who will ultimately benefit from your project. So I'm just going to jump over to ChatGPT here and show you how we can use this quickly to create something to fill in here. Sometimes it's easier than spending a lot of time worrying about wordsmithing something on your own. So I'm going to toggle back here to the screen, and I'm just going to copy these instructions, Control C. Then I'm going to jump over here to my ChatGPT thing. And I had already worked on some materials with our project partner about what they want to do with the funding for this. So I'm going to just drop that direction into the chat where we worked on that, because then the ChatGPT will already kind of know what we're talking about. And then I'll put in the instructions. So I'm going to say, use the former chat. I'm going to Control V and paste in what the Taproot box wants us to do. Create a compelling pitch for potential volunteers. Detail how this project, and I'll just add in here, is going to help our organization achieve its goals. And then we will just push go, and we'll see what ChatGPT comes up with. Then we can edit it. If it's good, we like it, and drop it back in here. And I usually like what they come up with. It makes it easier than me trying to do this because communications is not my strong suit. So ChatGPT come up with the title, help us make the story unforgettable. I'm just going to again copy and paste that back over here. Add it in. And this is kind of long. We probably don't need all of this, but some of it could be helpful. So I'm just going to say fives short to D. Okay, so I don't like what they created that much. So I'm just going to go back up and copy the pieces of the longer one that I liked better. I think that this initial scene description was kind of compelling. Gives people kind of a really good sense of being involved in more than just designing a pitch deck. Okay, now it asks you to commit to these special requirements. You can choose to have Taproot promote the opportunity on LinkedIn free of cost, and that is helpful to do that. So I am going to go to our LinkedIn profile, just add that in. It's also a good way to kind of let other people on LinkedIn in your network know more about what we are doing. That can drive more traffic to our projects, get more buzz about what we're doing. So I am going to go to our regenerative farms page. To get our LinkedIn handle here. I'm going to drop that in under LinkedIn company ID. Let's see if there's anything I missed here. Okay. That. Then it asks you to agree to these following good practices to make sure that the volunteer relationship goes well. So I will be leading this project, and I will work with our volunteer coordinator, Raja, who will work with you to bring you in on the calls with the consultant. We only post when we're ready to start the project right away. The volunteers apply pretty quickly, and you need to respond to them with a yes or a no within 24 hours, or it reduces our ability to use this platform. You need to be prepared to act like a paying client, so you don't miss any of the meetings. You cancel ahead of time if you need to. Develop a scope of work, provide honest feedback. You don't expand the project. You stick to the short time frame that you've agreed upon, unless the volunteer wants to work longer term with your project. And once you've clicked all of those, we click agree, please. Then there's other kinds of helpful tools to organize your project. Once someone applies, you can review their application. You can schedule an interview with them by phone or by Zoom. And then once you decide to hire someone for the project, they have other templates and different tools for kind of developing the sort of like a volunteer contract. So it's very clearly spelled out exactly what you want the volunteer to do step by step. So that's going to be it for the volunteer Taproot platform video for this morning. So get in touch with myself or Raja and try this out. In addition to these longer term projects, you can also use just 1 hour sessions with the professional, and I'll record a separate video to show you how to do that. Thank you.